Minasan konnichiwa, thank you for following my channel. As you already noticed, I started to take all my videos in English, so please be patient, stay on my channel and support me with your likes and comments. Alright, today's video topic will be about books. I already shared a reel about top 5 books about SNS on Instagram, and in this video I would like to tell you a little bit more about those 5 books and describe my own experience after reading them. Alright, let's start. First, I already prepared all those 5 books. I usually prefer to buy a paperback because it's more convenient to make notes and underline something. Maybe I can show you in some, or like sometimes I don't underline, I just put marks like this. And what is this page or chapter about? Very helpful. Okay. Please don't forget to put your like before watching this video and watch it until the end. First book I would like to introduce is one of my favorite books about SNS. I really recommend to read this to everyone. You don't need any special experience or like even if you don't run your own social media, just read this book and after that like think about should I start or not. This book called Crushing It. The author is Uniqueness.jp. He also wrote recently another book, but at first point I recommend you to read this one. Like actually it doesn't like really teach you like some digital marketing stuff, but it helps you to motivate, and this book tells about like successful stories of other people. Also it tells you about how people start like from zero, like, and how some people start even with no money, no resources, so they just started social media and like where they are now, and how social media changed their lives. Like I think motivation is one of the most important points when you start something, even like SNS account or like anything, because if you don't have motivation, like all other skills doesn't matter, isn't it? Like before reading all marketing stuff, all psychology or like strategy, like just first point is like motivate themselves. That's why like on the top 5 list I put this one rather than putting something about like marketing base. Next one book is about how to make your message noticed and how to make your content noticed online. This book is actually a little bit difficult to read, because they have a lot of scientific vocabulary. But like if you are patient enough and if you finish this book, it's really worth it, because after that your message, your the words you would like to convey to people, or even like if you would like to make email marketing or direct message marketing, it will be really helpful for you. Alright, and the name is like Hooked, looks like that, and it's actually very interesting, the name, like why cute sales, not the marketing magic that we just can't resist. So shortly telling about like this one, it describes like 8 basic rules how to make your business and how to make your message convey to the people, because there are a lot of like advertisements, there are a lot of like other maybe brands, maybe like influencers or other like shops, and how make your shop or like how to make you as an influencer noticed online. I guess it's like very helpful like for both sides, and whether you're a business brand or like influencer. Third book I would like to introduce. This book actually more about more for business side, because you learn how to find influencer, why should you choose influencer marketing, and how to reach influencer, how to contact influencer, how to check whether influencer has real following and what kind of like audience does it have. Actually it's called The Age of Influence. Very like insight kind of view but even if you're influencer, I recommend also to read this one, because if you work with some agencies, it's better to know how the agency work, so they don't make money on you, but you make also money from some kind of job if you work with agency or with agent, or if you just start to learn about influencer marketing. I guess like to become influencer, you also have to understand influencer marketing inside. That's why this book was on like third one on my list, and I have like actually a lot of like marking here. Like here, how to engage with influencer. Next one, ranking influencer, SNS goals, and so on. I made several posts based on this book, like about SNS goals, about like how to rate influencers. You can find it on my Instagram account. But anyway, I would like to keep a little bit secretly in this information to make you motivated to read the book. Let's go to the first one. First one, also not about actually like marketing strategy or something, but it's Instagram history. The book is like bestseller for already like around 2 years, for around 2 years it's like best-selling, called No Filter. Maybe you already saw this book like around bookstores, on like Amazon. The book tells how Instagram was born, how people changed their lives because of Instagram. As for me, I guess this book taught me like that there are many people who would like to make something bad for your business or something bad like if you succeed. For example, here is that like when Instagram started, like just for posting images, right? There were like so many people who tried to post something like drugs, something like self-injury, or kill someone, violence. And at this point I feel like, you know, if I'm Instagram creator and like creator of Instagram, I feel so, not sad, but like disappointed of like I created some good platform for you, but like why people respond to me like that? Why they like try to share like violent scenes or something? So this book, yeah, I know it's like about Instagram, but it taught me a lot like about like also people way of thinking, and that actually you need to take much more time to fix something or to manage people rather than like to create something, because Instagram created, but most of the time they just work about solving problems. Like many companies would like to buy Instagram, or like some people would like to share violence, or some people like to blog, or like many problems. And it described a lot of like Facebook. Many of you might be wondering that Facebook disappears, but in Japan actually Facebook is kind of like important platform still. And I also use Facebook, even like people saying like TikTok, use TikTok. No, Facebook is still like major platform, maybe not just around Japan, but in Japan it's like LinkedIn, more for like work style. Like you can find in this book also a lot about Facebook and how does it connect with Instagram. So that's why I recommend this book on the top of my 5 list. And the last book I would like to recommend, called Influencer. This book is opposite to The Age of Influence, because The Age of Influence tell you about a position from agency position or agent, but the Influencer book tell you more about position like an influencer. So if you would like to become an influencer, or even if you're a brand, business, but mainly for influencer, like how to find your audience, how to start creating content, how to make your first money on like Instagram, or like not just Instagram, like you can make on any other social media if you find your niche there, or if you find you create something better. The most important point I learned from this book is that you have to choose like 4 platforms. Like 2 platforms should be measured where you are active. For example, I'm active on Instagram and YouTube, but I also would like to support Twitter and Facebook. But just to like post maybe once a week or once in 2 weeks, like that. But on Instagram and YouTube, these two platforms are my measure, and that's why I would like to post as many times as possible. Currently, I post 7 times on Instagram and around like 1 time a week, 1 time in the 2 weeks on YouTube. Or I'm trying to post. That's why, like, that's how it works. Maybe this statement was one of the main I learned, because about the content creation and audience and all the same kind of thing you can learn like in many books. But just my advice, if you just read a book, it doesn't matter. Like, if you don't do anything, it like doesn't have any effect on your life, right? So if you, for example, decided like, okay, I will read like influencer book, and like what I would like to learn from this book, or like why I would like to read this book, not just for read, but for example, if it says you like choose your niche or choose your audience, it's better like just to put the book out and like, okay, now I will think around like 30 minutes or half an hour or even like 10 minutes, okay, about like my audience. The most important point in reading those books is like you make an action. Like, for example, I read Crush on It, okay, I'm motivated enough to start YouTube, and like I decide my goal. I would like to promote something, or I would like to make myself popular, but popular also for what? Like, you have to decide all this kind of stuff and answer the question it asks you. Also, of course, you can find questions in my posts on social media. You can also learn a lot about Instagram and like social media on my Instagram, and also watch my other video on YouTube. But just in case, the biggest point, not just like top 5, to read those top 5 books, but also to make an action from those top 5 books, and it will pay you back. Alright, this is all for now. I hope you liked this video. Thank you for watching it until the end. Please let me know if you already read this book and what is your favorite. Also, let me know what would you like to learn about like influencer, about the digital marketing, about social media, especially in Japan. And last point, like for those who watched until now, after you're reading this book, please don't just jump and start to create like everything exactly like written in the book, because Japan is kind of a unique market, and I don't recommend you to focus on like books. This is like book written in Europe or like United States, because influencer marketing is more like developed there. But in Japan, it's still very, very like raw. And like you have to understand that, for example, in Europe, like cool Instagram account looks good. In Japan, it doesn't work at all. Like you can work like cool image, but still Japan would prefer like different. And like you have to understand like small points of this difference. Like if it's written be natural on social media, yeah, it's true, but like in Japan you have to be natural but little bit like cute, or a little bit like yasashi, like very kind. Like your image should be like not cool like face, but a little bit smile or a little bit open-minded. And if you're confused for now, please don't miss my other videos to learn more. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time.